Greetings and welcome to Prof. Neil on a Friday. As usual, Friday, Prof. Neil. I keep this date with you. And thank you for being with us. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Vijay Amritraj, a very, very nice man to know. And we're talking about Vijay Amritraj, the Indian tennis player of refined grace. In the 70s and 80s, Vijay at the peak of his career had reached the quarterfinals of the final eight, as they say, at the Wimbledon and at the US Open more than once. At that time, in the tennis world, the APC of tennis meant Amritraj, Borg and Connors. He was held in the same breath, Amritraj, Borg and Connors. Such was a legend. And I had the honor of interacting with him, and that helped me to know that what a nice man he is. And how he got that, why the crowd loved him, why the players loved him. 1987, I was at the Taj West in Bangalore. I was being inducted into the hotel. So at the reception, my only responsibility was to hand over keys and take messages and give messages, hand over messages. So he walked in from his room, tall, broad-shouldered, one of my childhood heroes. Comes and flashes a smile, and I wish him good afternoon, Mr. Amritraj. How may I help you? So he wishes me good afternoon, and then he bends down, puts his elbows on the reception counter, looks at my nameplate, and says, M.S. Neelakantan. Hi, I am Vijay. I am totally bowled over. I can't do anything but put my hand up like this and shake his hand. A firm handshake that he had. And then I told him that I am a childhood fan of yours, though I don't play tennis. And so he said, So what sports you play? So I told him about my little sporting progress. My school level, district level, football, basketball, cricket that I did. He appeared interested. Then I said, Vijay, may I ask you a question? He said, yes. I said, 1981, Wimbledon, Vijay. As I smiled, and his face went like this, and he says, 1981 Wimbledon, Jimmy Connors, quarterfinal? I said, yes, Vijay. If I may ask. He said, of course. I said, I have not seen the footage of that match. I have never seen that footage. That is one match that eludes me. I'd like to know from you. He goes to my supervisor and tells him, Neil and I would like to talk a little bit of tennis. So he takes me to the edge of the reception counter, takes a piece of paper from the counter, draws the tennis court, and proceeds to explain to me the points that if I'm very lost. But earlier I told him, I said, Vijay, you're 2 sets up at deuce serving, and you lost to the defending champion from there, Jimmy Connors. How could you do that? Was it lack of stamina? Was it lack of whatever? So then he proceeds to explain to me this. And I was taken back in a time machine, as if I was sitting in the center court. And Vijay Amritraj was playing Connors. And those decisive points after second set, which he won easily. And from there he slipped, and then he lost the last 3 sets. And Connors went into the semifinals, and Vijay was out. And Arthur Ashe, the legendary American black player, the first black to win the Wimbledon in 1975, I'm right, says about Vijay, he's not closing the gate after the cows are in the corral. But another tennis player said, when you hit an opponent, you punch him, you beat him, you kick him, and you make sure that he's on the ground. You don't sit alongside him and talk to him. For that, Vijay says, Bjorn Borg has proven that you don't have to be like that to be a winner. And if you have to be like McEnroe to be a number one, then I don't want to be a number one. 12 ATP wins and numerous Grand Slam upsets. It proves that it's always better to win hearts and to win the game. Of course, the British media, the British crowd loved him because for his refined grace, for his sportsman spirit, applauding the opponent's shots. It was always a full crowd when Vijay Amritraj was playing, thanking the officials, thanking the ball boys, waving to the crowds after the match, whether he's lost or won. I mean, waving in the sense, saying thank you to them to come to watch him, for cheering him. The media, Ranjit Singh with the racket, those sort of refined race of what's the refined race of Vijay Amritraj. These are the terms used by the British media. They loved him for his grace. Grace is courage under pressure. As I keep repeatedly saying, grace is courage under pressure. And he was under pressure, but he still never failed to smile, thank, applaud an opponent. And that's something which, as a sportsman, as human beings, we have to learn. And that Vijay Amritraj proved that you can win matches and win hearts also. You don't have to be like a Jimmy Connors or a John McEnroe to be rude, to shout back at the crowd, to hurl obscenities, to be a number one. You can be like a tree with fruits that hangs low and be humble and still be number one to win hearts. You'll be remembered far more for your legacy than for just winning trophies, tournaments. He has won 12 ATP. He has 12 ATP wins under his belt and very many upsets in the Grand Slams. He's upset Borg, Connors, Arthur Ashe, Girillatus, everybody on the greats of that time, Jan Codes, everybody of his time in Grand Slams. So he was always an underdog. You would never take it easy against him. But he never won a tournament, a Grand Slam. But he won 12 ATP titles and acted in films. Bond is just one of them. Ninja, etc. And he's honored with the Padma Shri 1983. And today he's a commentator for TV and for golf. A lovely person. Thank you, Vijay Amritraj, for leaving behind that cult legacy of being nice. It was nice, and nice guys too finish first, as you would have done. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this today. Bye-bye. Goodbye.